What does Swarm do?
We are a blockchain-based platform that allows both crypto investors as well as family offices and retail investors to invest into alternative assets. And alternative assets being anything that is sort of private equity related. So we're starting off with 5 partner funds. One is in distressed real estate, one is actually pre-tech IPO stock, one is actually in revenue lending for SaaS companies, one is in solar investing, and one is in art investing. And we're trying to deliver a slew of different investment opportunities that become accessible to anyone that is looking for this kind of process.
Excellent. So can you tell us what you're looking to bring into your company in the next few months?
So we've been working on sort of the business relationships and the platform for quite some time, and we're going to be launching the first couple of funds in January, where you can just, by opening that up, anyone can actually sort of access that. There's no minimum requirements in terms of minimum size of investment. There will be some investor qualification that people have to go through, but imagine that the $5 investor from Southeast Asia has the same access to returns as the $5 million investor in New York. That's pretty powerful.
It's going to change the world. So, can you tell us, where do you see the industry heading? What trends have you seen? And how does that affect Swarm?
So I think there's a couple of things, obviously, that were in the, if you're referring to the blockchain industry or the cryptocurrency industry, obviously there was this big topic this year of ICOs, initial coin offerings, where there was a fairly unregulated market that actually people were just raising funds through methods that have been growing and grassroots growing in the industry. Regulators are not just taking notice, but they're stepping in. They're making clear what they endorse, what they don't endorse, and I think that's a great thing because it cleans the market, it gets rid of the noise, it gives confidence to entrepreneurs what they can and can't do. I think the bigger topic though is actually why has it become there, because the size of the market has increased so phenomenally. So we moved from something like $10 billion in market cap to $180 billion in market cap within 12 months, which is significant in size. What that does is not just allow people to develop fantasies how big this becomes, but more importantly, it draws attention to proper companies from Wall Street, from the payments industry, from investments, to actually think about how that can be partnered up with and how to develop actually new use cases on top of it. So it's a huge draw on consumer adoption, both from the payment space as well as from other related use cases that actually might have to do with PII or some other securitizations, certification use cases, et cetera.
Excellent. So what do you think, you're a relatively good expert in the area,
yeah.
What new use cases can you expect to see in the future?
So, totally unbiased opinion, right? But we're working on a pretty significant use case where we're building sort of the asset-backed token sphere, which means we're replicating a lot of the financial instruments, making them accessible through blockchain mechanisms to the broader public, right? So that is a huge category that will have its own flavors of all these different permutations of how the financial ecosystem works today. And frankly, it will develop its own flavors as well. So we'll be surprised in actually how people will gravitate towards that, because there's very compelling arguments to do that. But there's 2 other realms that I think people tend to forget when they look at the broader media. It is actually the realm of data protection. So you as an individual owning your own data and you deciding what to do with that data. And that ranges from, certificates of any kind to your DNA data, to your personal data, who gets to use it, et cetera. The other realm is just the whole realm of actually sort of interaction amongst each other, sort of more a grassroots way, how we can build services that actually are footed in decentralized technologies. We've seen a couple of cloud-like services that are promised to be on decentralized technologies. Filecoin being a future decentralized cloud storage solution, which is not cloud because it's more Mist because it's using decentralized technologies. So we're going to see some interesting use cases, how that's going to adopt over time, that replace or enhance centralized systems and have nothing to do with the currency aspect of it.
How have you enjoyed this year's Money 2020?
For us, it was an interesting experience because I've been to Money 2020 several times, but more as a visitor. But we made the conscious effort this year as an organization in blockchain to become part of this ecosystem, which is a fairly fairly sophisticated, mature ecosystem, a lot of payment solutions, a lot of banking services, and so forth, because we wanted to demonstrate that we're part of a financial ecosystem and not trying to hide in some corner, but rather look for that conversation. And it's been fantastic for us. We've had a huge amount of people just engage at the booth. We've actually learned that a lot of people know about blockchain, so we don't have to actually do a lot of educational work here. But in contrast, they actually get to talk to us and make their proposals how they want to partner up. So we're walking away with a lot of concrete business opportunity and interaction opportunity, which I didn't expect that much. So.